John Paul Rye. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. We got Amber Heard's friend iOTillet testifying in the case Johnny Depp versus the Sun. Now, before we get into this article, I'm going to go over iOTillet a little bit and who he is for you guys who aren't very familiar, and also for the people who are familiar, well, it might be new to you too. Let's take a look. Here you can see them, and obviously she's a lot younger here in this picture, and that means he's known Amber Heard for quite a while. Now, the thing about this is, similar to her sister Whitney, of course he's going to testify in her favor. Here we see them walking around the city, and yeah, this looks like from a few years ago. Here we see she's giving him a big kiss on the cheek. Okay, looks like they're pretty close. Here we see iOTillet smashing a cake in his face. He's just getting wild and putting that chocolate all over his forehead, his glasses. I don't know why. Sometimes he does silly, crazy things. Does this mean he's a liar? Not necessarily. But you know what? It's a little strange. And here we see the topless photo shoot. Now, as you guys might or might not know, iOTillet is a transgender. That has nothing to do with it. However, he does appear to be a man, so when I say topless photos, I have to explain a little bit about that. Now, they're taking these fun topless photos together. Does that mean anything bad? Not necessarily. But it's character building. Anybody who's comfortable enough to do this together, well, they're pretty tight. So it's unimaginable that this person would testify against Amber. So what's the point? But anyway, let's see what he said. Amber Heard's friend testified today that he heard Johnny Depp threaten to peel the actress's hair back in an argument that ultimately ended their marriage, and one where police were called to the scene. And we know what ended the marriage was Amber Heard taking the number 2 on Johnny's bed. Or was it iOTillet? Who knows? As you can see, he does crazy things. Taking topless photos, smashing cakes in his face. He sat outside on a toilet in the desert. Okay, so those aren't like terrible things. They're not crimes. But is that somebody whose word you would take for fact? I wouldn't. Just my personal opinion. According to reports, iOTillet Wright made an appearance in court via video link in the Pirates of the Caribbean star's ongoing trial against the UK tabloid who he alleges defamed him by calling him a wife-beater, which they pretty much did. Maybe not them alone, but Amber Heard accusing him didn't make him very attractive for movie studios. We know this. Tillet Wright, who was the last witness to give testimony in the 3-week trial, told the court Johnny Depp suffered from paranoid delusions and was in a froth after finding poop in the couple's marital bed. Who wouldn't be in a froth? Whatever the hell that means. And by the way, I think when you've got cake in your face and you lock yourself in a cage and you go on some topless party photo thing, maybe you have paranoid delusions somehow. As we reported, the final Amber and Johnny argument started over the housekeepers finding a piece of poop in Depp's bed following a nasty fight a month later. Johnny testified Amber or one of her friends was responsible for leaving the human feces on the bed, and it was the final straw in their marriage. The actress denied leaving the feces and blamed it on their dogs. Wait a minute, she blamed it on her friends in court, like last week. Now the dogs? She constantly contradicts herself. They just said it was human feces. Amber said it was the dogs. She's lying right there about this. The Pirate star has denied being abused towards his ex-wife and claims it is a hoax which was collected over time. So we find out Johnny says it's a hoax. They say that again. Okay. And with friends like iOTillet, could it be a hoax? Probably. There we see him when he locked himself in the cage. I don't know complete details, but I'll leave it at that. At that point, Tillet Wright, who was in New York at the time, said the next thing he heard was Depp saying, "Oh, you think I hit you? You think I hit you? What if I peel your hair back?" Amber Heard submitted evidence of a different alleged fight where she claims Depp ripped part of their hair out, which she photographed. Amber's friend alleges he then heard the actress scream, "Call 911," so he decided to hang up and call the police, who were then dispatched to the couple's home. In the hearing, Wright testified he was on the phone with Amber Heard on the night of May 21st, 2016, when the Aquaman star alleges Depp hurled the phone at her face and assaulting her before storming out of the couple's Los Angeles apartment. LAPD arrived on the scene and questioned Amber Heard about the situation, but claims she was unwilling to give a statement. Also, one of the officers testified earlier in the trial that Amber did not have any marks on her face that would lead her to believe she was a victim of an assault. Tillett Wright told the court he called 911 after hearing what sounded like a cry or yelp over the phone while talking to Heard. Amber's friend claims he could hear the argument between the two stars over the phone, which included Johnny yelling at Amber to get out of the house. At that point, he testified hearing what sounded like the phone dropping on the ground and Amber saying something like, "You just threw the phone at my house. You just threw the phone at my house." Didn't she say at her face? Did the article make a mistake? Because it clearly says house right here. But probably she just messed up and said house, because it wasn't going on most likely. I've covered iOTillet for quite a while on his channel, and one thing about him is that he went on these Twitter rampages where he would argue back and forth for dozens of replies and long paragraphs of yelling and screaming, well, in text, yelling and screaming at fans of Johnny Depp. It seems like he has a problem controlling things he says. I can't say because he smashes cake in his face, takes topless photos, locks himself in a cage, sits on a toilet in the desert, that he necessarily has issues, but it's not like he's learning to play the violin, studying literature, working towards learning a language, something like that, something more educational. He does have a YouTube channel. He's almost on 700 subscribers last I looked a few weeks ago. And I gotta tell you, it's not that bad. The content's a little odd, but the video making's pretty good. So, my opinion, as you guys could probably have figured out, is that iOTillet and his testimony probably aren't worth that much. Same as Amber's sister Whitney. So everybody Amber has so far is people who's a given, who's gonna testify for her anyway. Good friends of years and years. And her sister. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down below. Doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Having a really busy month with work, so I'm getting to this case the best I can, and I will try to get to another shoutout video. Appreciate the comments. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't subscribe, I'll be pretty sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.
Central Park.